Hey everyone, Mr. Sujano here. In today's video, we're talking about emulation for the Nintendo 3DS as well as the Nintendo Switch. Let's get started. Alright, we'll kick things off here talking about Nintendo 3DS emulation on Android with Citra. Now, we're not referring to the Citra that's available right on the Google Play Store. We're talking about an alternative version of Citra, or a fork. The fork is called Citra MMJ. It's extremely popular. It's geared towards performance as opposed to emulation accuracy. Now, I've done a video or two about Citra MMJ in the past, and a lot of people thought this version of the emulator was toast, considering it went about 5 months between updates. It was updated on August 20th, and then we never heard anything until January of this year. And then we've seen quite a few updates since then. But all of the updates here say the exact same thing: Android storage access. I was looking into this, I was a little bit confused. I figured the developer here was just tweaking settings with the scope storage for Android devices. However, it turns out here my assumptions were wrong. The developer is posting the change logs to their personal website, but not on GitHub for some reason. So we can see here with the latest update that released on January 20th, Citra update fixes some minor issues, adds an option to skip texture copying, which is pretty huge here, and Mario Kart runs smoothly after turning it on. So my advice to you here, if you're using Citra MMJ, is to head on over to their GitHub page and pick up the latest version. There may or may not be a performance update in there that may or may not help things out quite a bit. On top of that, I'll leave a link to the developer's official website. Feel free to check that out. You might have to translate it into English, but it also might have the updates you're looking for in there, at least tell you what they are. Next up here, we're still talking about Citra, but this time it's a different version or a different fork altogether. This one is called Citra Enhanced, and we've covered it in previous videos. Previously, it was Citra Enhanced Beta 2, but they've just moved on to Citra Enhanced Beta 3. Now, Citra Enhanced is a fork off of the official Citra emulator, not off Citra MMJ, but it looks like with this latest Beta 3, they're introducing Citra MMJ elements into Citra Enhanced. So we can see here, they ported Citra MMJ skip texture copy, which was a feature that was just added into Citra MMJ. And we can see here as well, ported Citra MMJ linear filtering, ported old Citra MMJ texture load hack, minor graphical bug fixes including Mali GPU, haptic feedback support, rotate screen option, in-game resolution selector. So at a really high level here, these are the big differences between this new Citra Enhanced Beta 3 and the previous Citra Enhanced Beta 2. Which is also kind of new. So we can see RAM management is better, the FPS is more stable, and the speed is higher. Graphics bugs of some games have been fixed, and the new hacks really help gameplay. So if you've been using Citra Enhanced Beta 2, you might want to check out Citra Enhanced Beta 3. And if you haven't checked out either, well, they're absolutely free, so I'll leave a link in the description below and feel free to check out the APK. Next up here, we're talking about my favorite Nintendo Switch emulator on Android, Skyline. Now, Skyline is still very early on in development. It does have a very long way to go, but what the developers have been able to accomplish so far is fairly amazing. We've talked about Skyline in the past. They've gotten Sonic Mania up and running. They're working on Celeste. And just recently here, we've got a bit more of an update. It looks like they've gotten Disgaea 5 up and running, and this is pretty huge considering this is not a 2D game, this is a 3D game. Now, before you get too excited here, Disgaea 5 is not fully playable. It does get to a point where the game just flat out crashes, which happens to be right here. So while it's not the best news, it's pretty amazing news and a definite step in the right direction. I can't wait to see what comes next from this emulator. And last up here, we're still talking about Nintendo Switch emulation, but not on Android, on PC. And this news is a little bit controversial. It looks like Ryujinx here, one of the two best Switch emulators on PC, had a bit of a run-in with the big Nintendo. Now, it's absolutely no secret here that the developers over at Ryujinx have been working extremely hard. They've been adding in new features, improving performance, and also fixing bugs. Apparently here, they fixed bugs just a little bit too good. It looks like they may or may not have inadvertently fixed bugs for a game that hasn't released yet. And that game may or may not have been Pokemon Legends, a game that may or may not have already leaked. Now, as far as I know here, the bug fixes for Pokemon Legends were completely unintentional. It looks like they were fixing bugs for completely different games altogether. It just happened that the bug fixes for the other games also ended up fixing Pokemon Legends. Now, just to be clear here, none of this has been confirmed just yet, but it looks like a big company, possibly Nintendo, is paying very close attention to Nintendo Switch emulation, and when they found out that an emulator had bug fixes for a game that hadn't even released yet, well, they may or may not have contacted AppVeyor, who hosted Ryujinx, to completely take down the project. Now, just to be perfectly clear here, yes, Ryujinx was taken off AppVeyor, and no, we don't know the full reason just yet. It's speculated that Nintendo may or may not have had a hand in it, but it's also speculated that Ryujinx may or may not have been abusing bandwidth limits for AppVeyor, and that was the cause for deletion. We don't know yet, and I don't have any more information than that. If you know the real reason, please let me know in the comments below. So as a result of that, there was no way to download Ryujinx. Ryujinx had to find a brand new home. So if you are using Ryujinx, head on over to ryujinx.org/download here and pick up the latest version, which at the time of filming is version 1.14. Once you've manually downloaded and installed this version, it should auto-update from here and you shouldn't have to worry about it. But anyways, that is all I've got for this one. Short, sweet, and to the point, all stuff and no fluff. Let me know your thoughts about Citra MMJ and Citra Enhanced Beta 3 in the comments below. Do you use them? Have you tried them out? Or do you plan on trying them out? Let me know in the comments below. And let me know your thoughts about Skyline and Ryujinx in the comments below. Do you have more info about this whole, I don't want to say controversy, but this whole weird situation with Ryujinx? If you do, please let me know in the comments below. If you like this video, leave a like. If you didn't like this video, leave a like. Hit that subscribe button, check out my other videos. Thank you everyone, take care.